Hello! To begin, first let me introduce myself. My name is Sam Hurd. I've been an English teacher here in Korea for the best part of 10 years now, and over time have accumulated a wide range of teaching experience. In recent years, I have spent a lot of time teaching corporate and adult classes for various companies and institutions, as well as conducting in-house classes here at YBM. So, welcome to the training video for YBM corporate teachers made by YBM NET. In the first part, I'm going to explain the corporate class process, the YBM NET Organization, the instructors' roles, reporting styles, YBM Contents, and finally dress codes. The corporate class process. When a client contacts YBM, a proposal is then sent to the client, and if necessary, a meeting will be held for consulting. Once the client decides to work with YBM, we send profiles of candidate instructors, and in some cases, a client may also wish to interview candidate instructors directly before hiring. However, it is also possible for a YBM staff member to conduct an interview on their behalf. Once you're hired, a meeting or orientation for the program might be held, either on the first day or sometime in the middle of the session. At least one class observation will be held. On the last day of the session, the students will find out a satisfaction survey and evaluate your performance. During the last week of the month, you will have to submit a monthly report to YBM, and this is a very crucial part of the pay process. Payment for all teachers will be sent out on the 10th day of each month. Okay, next, the YBM NET Organization. There are 3 teams in the corporate business department: the education and training team, the corporate education team, and the curriculum and recruiting team. The first 2 teams are in charge of marketing and management, with the staff members being addressed as YBM managers. In the C&R team, there are 3 English coordinators and 2 recruiters. Okay, the instructors' roles. As adults, students these days have high expectations and hope to see you throughout their studies, not just as a teacher, but also as a coach and mentor as well. In class, frequent feedback in regard to their speaking and writing skill is highly recommended. And outside class, regular contact and communication with YBM is also highly appreciated. The reporting style. There are 2 different types of reports, and which one you are asked to do simply depends on the HR manager's preference. For the paper report, using Microsoft Excel, should be completed by the end of every month. However, the online report using LMS is supposed to be completed daily, since both the HR manager and your students have access to the site. You can also check the attendance during or after the class on your cell phone using the mobile version. YBM Contents. Here are the books developed by the C&R team. Step Up English covers both general and business English. Cross-culture study is used mainly for intensive courses. Raising the Bar focuses on the 5 key business English skills: telephoning, emailing, meetings, presentations and negotiations. And finally, Think Aloud is used for reading and discussion, especially for one-on-one executive class. Dress codes matter. For the job interview, most HR managers will not have seen your resume beforehand, meaning they will see your hairstyle, outfit and general appearance before they see your teaching experience and qualifications. So please dress smart and formally for the job interview, and also for your first day of class. No tattoo. Many Koreans are still quite conservative when it comes to visible tattoos. So if you do have one, please remember to cover it up as best as you can. Different dress codes. Even though most companies' dress codes are fairly casual, it's not always the same, and maybe different rules will apply to the language instructors. So please check in advance the dress code for teachers with your company before the first class. Now, let's talk about the differences between junior classes and corporate classes. I'm sure some of you have lots of experience teaching children and are now looking to move on to the next level. Knowing the significant differences between the two really helps you to be able to cope with the transition into corporate teaching. First, who's the boss? At a public school or private academy, either the academy director or school principal will be the one who hires you. But in the corporate education field, your agency hires you, meaning your immediate YBM manager or coordinator is your boss. If you have a good relationship, they will often share positive feedback of your teaching and performances with their colleagues, and sometimes through verbal recommendations and in-house networking, this can lead to new positions opening and becoming available to you. YBM NET has a few annual events to appreciate and celebrate teachers' hard work. There is the Teachers' Day get-together, the Teacher of the Year Award, and of course, the end-of-year party. You too could possibly receive a nomination or invitation if you continue to keep up the good work. Second, who's the client? At a private academy, the kids are your clients, but the parents are the decision makers because they are the ones who have chosen the school and are paying the bills. So naturally, you have to think about the parents' needs and expectations too. In corporate classes, the employees who take the class are your clients, but the HRD manager who oversees the in-house language program is the real client here. They are the one who delegates the budget and communicates directly with YBM, and they are the one who will evaluate your performance. The key to your success in this field is keeping a good balance between these two clients. Last but not least, what's the goal? At a private academy, getting a better score on a test or getting into a better school is a goal for most. But in the corporate setting, a common goal is simply for self-development or possibly for a promotion within the company. Most self-development classes are free, and the student's motivation is relatively lower than the promotion-related classes. As a result, the average attendance rate can be low. It is advisable to notice signs of a dropping attendance rate because a continuous low attendance rate could lead to the shutting down of the program. The class is held specifically for promotion or for special goals such as global talent development or language training before taking an overseas position can be very goal-driven. Therefore, in this case, a relatively higher attendance is expected. This kind of class should be well prepared for, with good time management, and of course is customized by YBM. So what's the goal? Free talking. It's never about free talking. By having free talking out of the picture, you will of course need a well-prepared lesson plan. Why is this important? Before making a lesson plan, think about the goal of the lesson. It's definitely the first thing you have to keep in mind. Also, think of ways in which you can involve your students. Simple yes or no answers do not count as talking time. Encourage your students to speak in full sentences. It doesn't matter if they are of a low level or unable to speak in a full sentence. Just do your best and encourage them and give them confidence. Expectation. If the students know what to expect, your lessons will run smoothly. Furthermore, if they miss a class or two, they will still be able to know what they have missed and will have an opportunity to catch up or ask you questions. Student-orientated lesson. If you are able to remember all of your students' names, it makes your job so much easier and more comfortable when delegating speaking time by calling out their names. In the case of having a very dominant student who is perhaps taking up a lot of time during speaking tasks, you have to figure out ways to prevent this without offending him or her, in order to give speaking opportunities to others. Activities. You can pair students up to boost talking time, or perhaps have them stand in front of the class for an elevator pitch or a short presentation. Most of all, you cannot talk too much. If you keep talking, their chance to speak is reduced. A student-orientated lesson is all about their opportunity to speak. At the end of the lesson, if they felt as though they spoke enough, then your lesson was successful. Time management. How would you plan a 60-minute lesson? Without a plan or goal in mind, the 60 minutes will fly by without getting you anywhere. Always inform your students of your plan on the day, and always command what they're about to do and for how long each task will be. Giving clear direction is very important. A warm-up. Small talk is always necessary to relax and open students up before the actual lesson, but be careful not to fall into a free talking area here, however. There is a very fine line between small talk with an agenda and free talking without direction. Don't carry on the small talk for too long, especially while waiting for all the students to show up. The shorter here, the better. Questions. Before reading an article or watching a video clip, ask your students some questions beforehand so they can relate to the topic and have something to think about. At this stage, you can just let volunteers answer or talk. Read or watch. Even for adults, reading aloud is good practice. So if possible, have them read the text out loud together, or have them take turns. When watching a video clip, don't play the whole thing at once. Stop after a couple of minutes to check their comprehension and keep their attention on track. At this stage, you have to delegate the opportunity to speak, so everyone is participating. Activities. There are many types of activities you can do. Role plays, discussions, in pairs or small groups, writing a short paragraph, giving a short speech or presentation, or even playing some games. Games you are used to doing with younger students maybe, such as 20 questions, Pictionary, charades, bingo, you name it, as long as it serves an educational purpose and reviews your set goal for the day. You'll be surprised how much they enjoy these games too. Finally, wrap up. Remember to check they have understood all of what they learned today, what they need to take with them, and what they need to prepare for next time. And if allowed, why not give them a short homework assignment? Some useful tips. If you are able to call out your students' names, students will be more responsive and will appreciate you remembering them. It's also very useful when delegating talking time as well. Share your contact information. On the first day, please share your email address or your cell phone number with the students if you don't mind. It's important they are able to let you know of their absence or tardiness. Imagine an occasion when 4 of your 5 students went on a business trip but didn't inform you because they weren't able to. That would greatly affect what you had planned for the lesson that day. But if you knew in advance you would only have 1 student attending, you could of course plan your lesson accordingly. Use the whiteboard. If you write today's lesson topic and what they are going to talk about during the warm-up, the students will focus better. If 1 or 2 students come to the class late, they don't need to interrupt or feel left out, but can just join in the small talk or turn to the right page of the book. When introducing a new word, always write the spelling on the whiteboard as well. Don't complain. Next, don't complain in front of your students. Of course, you can complain about the bad weather or your husband or wife, but please keep to yourself any ideas about the bad classroom setting, the long distance from your home, the lack of parking spaces, or the horrible traffic jam that made you late. If you complain about their HRD, it makes them feel uncomfortable. These complaints, however trivial, can also travel pretty fast and could possibly backfire. Keep the communication line open. Lastly, keep the communication line open with the YBM manager. Regarding the class, I mean anything. Class cancellations, classroom changes, textbooks or level issues. Whatever it is, bring it up with your YBM manager or coordinator before talking to your students. The more your YBM manager knows, the better you will be served. Also, try to reply to the YBM manager's emails and text messages as soon as you can, so he or she can proceed to the next step, such as confirmation on the position, ordering books, or the payment process. After all, they are not just your boss, but a partner to help you succeed in this field. This is the end of the training video. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best of luck.